Jane, welcome back to the cave. Like I
Long
mentioned
time no
earlier,
see.
long time no see ya. But this time it's more exciting for you.
I know.
So, listeners and viewers are going to see you in your latest project. It's a wonderful knife. I got to know, how was it combining a horror with Christmas at the same time?
Oh my God, it was amazing. Like blood looks so good on snow for some reason. Why is that?
Uh,
Yeah,
a-
no, it was crazy.
any pressure going into this movie as a lead?
I mean, yeah, I think if you're not, you're crazy, right? You got to have some anxiety, some pressure to be able to. I always work best under pressure, so I'm all for it.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, especially with such amazing talent in this. I mean, we have Joel McHale, Justin Long, Catherine Isabel. So it was great to be able to work with that. But yeah, there's definitely some pressure.
Yeah. What are you hoping for? Like, like the horror fans are going to tune into the watches. I know they are. What do you hope for they get out of this when they first tune into watches? What would you like? What do you hope they expect? Like, what they get out of it?
I just hope that they love the juxtaposition between having this like Christmas, like jolly, like Hallmark type vibe with this slasher horror, bloody element, and then also with this comedy element that we've added. I mean, Justin Long's veneers alone give you a chuckle. So it's just great to be able to combine all of these elements into one project. I love that. Uh, yeah.
It's amazing. What went through your mind when you read the script?
What went through my mind when I read the script? Well, first of all, before I'd even read the script, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Michael Kennedy and Freaky, and I love that and how he's able to take these old stories that we've heard and retell them in such a creative way. But yeah, I really loved the whole alternate reality Northern Lights Aurora thing. I've always kind of been fascinated with the Aurora, and I wanted to go up to the Arctic to see it. So I thought that that was really, really cool and a great way to tie in the alternate reality with something that's real and how there is a thing like nature can get mad at us. And so I kind of liked that element of playing with nature and this kind of like supernatural element and combining them.
I was doing some research last after I watched the movie. I did some research to get ready for this too, and I saw that the director Tyler he wanted you for the part.
Yeah,
That's
he did,
amazing.
which was yeah, no, it was crazy. I first time I've ever gotten an email like this where they send you the script and they're like, "Hey, this is what it's about. Would you be interested in it?" Like, oh my gosh, yeah, I will send in an audition for this. I want to send in an audition.
Mm.
So I did actually while I was filming season 2 of Yellow Jackets up in Canada, sent in an audition. And turns out I he wanted me, but I didn't even expect that. And having I after that audition, I had a director's session with him and
Yeah.
we were able to communicate. And Tyler is an interesting director because he gets more out of who he would want as an actor to play this role from
Yeah.
speaking to them as opposed to seeing them do the scene. So it's just cool to be able to work with different directors like that. And also just, I mean, so grateful that Tyler thought of me for this and wanted me
Right.
for this. Yeah.
And I liked your character on the film. What drew you to the role? Because your character was all over the place too.
Hmm.
Funny scenes, sad scenes, action at the same time. So you were all over the
Yeah.
place.
Yeah. So I think the one thing that really drew me in is I did really relate to her and especially how she's described. The first description in the script that we get is Winnie, teenage girl, likable, but it also says that she has an air of loneliness to her,
Mm,
which I like the way that that was kind of put. And as context clues, you can kind of infer that Winnie is with the popular kids and she wouldn't look to be like she's an outsider, right? Like that's Bernie.
yeah.
And I think that it's really cool. And I could really relate to this of being a person who's young, going through high school, and they're kind of in like these various groups. They kind of go from one group to the other, but they don't really know where they fit in because they're young and they're still figuring out who they are. And I just really loved that there was so much nuance to her in that and how much I could relate to that.
I wrote over here one of my notes like her journey. It's twisted in a way.
Mhm.
How would you describe her journey in the film?
I mean, all over the place if I
Yeah.
had to just describe it quickly. But yeah, no, I mean, at the beginning, we have happy Winnie, right? It's
Yeah.
Christmas, everything is going well. She thinks she's going to get into NYU. And then all hell breaks loose. And then a year later, it's like they've all moved on and nobody cares about everything that I did and all the PTSD that I had to go through to
Mm,
be able to, come out on the other side. And yeah, so it's just it's crazy that I go through all of these emotions,
right.
and then of course I'm in the emotion where nobody knows me, and how does
Yeah.
one play that, and it's
Right.
funny, like one thing I did do to prep for this was I went to a restaurant. I got it in my head that I needed to do this. I went to a restaurant, and waitress comes up to me, she's asking me, what do you want to drink? And I pretended like I knew her. Like she was like
Mm,
one of my closest friends, and she had no idea who I was. And I was really upset at that. And it's like, you don't know me? Like, no, you know who I am. I'm sure it was not a great experience for her, but I was able to take a lot from it. And that's kind of how I prepped for feeling like somebody, that's supposed to know you doesn't know you.
yeah.
Um, yeah.
What do you think it was like the biggest challenge with this character?
I think the biggest challenge with this character was, you know, how do you go about acting
Mm,
like your mother doesn't recognize you, your father
right.
doesn't how do you react to that? And everybody would react to that differently, right? So you kind of have to take what you've been given with the character before and just imagine it in your head. And it's a weird thing to do, and it's really difficult, and you have to trust yourself. I think that's a really big thing, is trusting that
Mm,
you as an actor know your character best. And yeah, so just the trust in that for myself was a big thing.
mm. If the director and the writer gave you a piece of paper and a pencil, said change something about Winnie, would you?
No, no, I love her so much.
Yeah.
At time I just love how brave she is, and
Mm,
how much she grows. I mean, she goes from being this person that can't even say fuck to,
yeah.
going off and killing somebody, and like
Mm,
killing her own, not gonna spoilers, but
yeah.
killing somebody close to her. And so
Right.
it's crazy the jumps that this character goes through.
Mm. You mentioned Bertie, which is played by Jess. How do you describe the chemistry between these two characters?
So heavy. I mean, there's so much there from the get-go. And it's funny because as Jess and Jane, we don't have a lot of chemistry. But as
Mm,
Winnie and Bernie, it's one of those
yeah.
weird movie magic things, right? Where it's just kind of there. And yeah, I love how Winnie is able to see parts of herself in Bernie, and she's able to really get through to her. I don't think anybody has ever been able to get through to Bernie like Winnie has, and that's because Winnie can see a lot of herself in Bernie.
Mm. And the way the movie was left off at the end too, you guys like it was like a strong bond, friendship at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Do
Yep.
you do you think there's a chance for a sequel to this? Have you heard anything about it? Have any ideas have come up for this? Like another story?
I'm hoping for a sequel. I actually do have a pretty wild and outlandish theory that I can get into. So it's after everything, right? Bernie
Yeah.
and I, we want to go to college. We're planning on doing this. We end up going to college. So you see us kind of in college and everything's happy, like kind of at the beginning of this film, right? Where you think
Mm,
everything's happy. Then we get to college, and guess what? Oh my God, there's an evil Bernie that we
mm,
accidentally that accidentally got through when we went back into the alternate reality because we messed
yeah.
some things up. And so then, like, back to the future style, we have to go back in time all the way to the beginning to see like how evil Bernie got through and like defeat evil Bernie. And at one point, I don't know which Bernie is which. Yeah,
Oh man, that could might as well just do a trilogy then. Keep it going.
I've gone way too far down this wormhole, if you can't
Yeah.
tell.
What is there's nothing wrong with that. What is one thing you're hoping for like the audience remembers about your performance in this?
I'm just hoping that the audience remembers how, Winnie, at the beginning, she has trouble with this, but I think throughout the film, she really does learn what it's like to kind of step into another person's shoes.
Yeah.
She's never been the outsider. And then when she actually is the outsider, she gets to see that. And we don't, this is not a normal thing that we go through as
Mhm.
humans. We don't go into alternate realities. And so I think just take a look at, how Winnie reacts in the alternate reality and kind of think for yourself, like, how would you react and how would you go
Right.
about this? And for me, it helped me think about I never know what's going on through somebody else's mind. And they could be in their own alternate reality, you
Yeah.
never know. And so it's important to keep that in mind.
Yeah. Last question. What's been the reaction from your family and friends watching this?
They love it. I mean,
Yeah.
my dad is so into it. He dressed up as the angel for Halloween, and my
There you
mom dressed up as Winnie, which was really, really cute. So no, the reaction has been great. My girlfriend loves seeing it. I think she's seen it probably more than I have. She's
go.
gone with her friends, like brought an entire group of friends. Okay. So yeah, no, the reaction has been incredible. And the reaction from the Yellow Jackets fans has been
Right.
amazing too. So
Right.
it's been really cool to see that.
Has there been a date yet of when it's getting released?
I Yes, but I don't know if I can
Okay.
Rachel?
I just wanted to make sure it's okay.
I don't know if I can say
That's
it.
fine. But yeah, I mean, Jane, this was like I said, I enjoyed this movie, especially with the Christmas and everything. So I think all the horror fans will enjoy this. And I want to thank you for giving me a few minutes today. This was great.
Yeah, thanks for having me on again.
Thank you. Thank you.